Hey guys, it's Sunday night. It's time for our capsule sermon. I hope I get this put up right. Erica hasn't been feeling well. We were on our way back from the Okie Homesteading Expo, and she got a real bad migraine this morning when we got ready to leave the hotel. So she just had a pretty miserable day. We had to stop and get her a couple of shots on the way home, and so I'm having to post all this myself. First time I've ever done that here, so hopefully it comes through all right. Sorry it's so late if it doesn't make it through, but here we go. So we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 28, verse 19. And it says, "He who tills his land will have plenty of bread, but he who is he who tills his land and will have plenty of bread, but he who follows frivolity will have poverty enough." So what does that mean? Well, what that means to me, and the way I understand it when I read it, it's saying that if you spend the time cultivating your field, getting things in proper order, planting on time, harvesting on time, you're going to have plenty. But if you piddle around and you don't utilize all the time that the good Lord gives you to do what you need to do in life, then you're going to do without when it's time. Okay? So how do we apply that to our daily lives? So the way I see it is if, say you're a welder and you just feel like your welds aren't as good as everybody else's, or you don't feel like you're advancing as much as you think you ought to. You need to look back and at the time you spend and say, am I really preparing the ground for the planting that I want to do? Are you spending all your time learning your craft or your trade? If maybe you're an artist and you're don't feel like your work's quite where it needs to be, are you spending the extra time to get where you want to be? Whatever it is in life, guys, when you look at the end of your road and you're like, man, I really feel like I deserve more than this, or I need more than this, or that guy's got more than I do. Why is it? I want you to look back and say, did I spend as much time as they did honing my craft or doing my trade? When you till your ground, like if we go back to this farming scenario, when you spend time tilling your ground, tilling your soil, when you spend time planting, harvesting, doing all that, that's time away from doing other things, okay? That you're spending more time on that than you are on these other things that are on the side. So when you look back at your scenario, if you're not where you want to be in something, look back and see, are you spending all the time that you can there? And then ask yourself, am I where God wants me to be? Am I planting in a field that God wants me to plant in? Am I working where God wants me to be? Because if you're not, you need to turn and go the direction God's got you going, that God really wants you to go, instead of doing what you want to do, if that makes sense. Guys, just remember, I love you. God bless you. Y'all keep praying.